Welcome to this week's session. My name is Linaja for those of you who don't already know me. I'll be a yoga teacher for the next half hour. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy. Today's session is going to be a yin session, yin yoga. As you can see, I'm dressed quite cozy. It's a bit chilly out. So wherever you are, just make sure that you're warm because we're not really going to heat up much in this session. And yeah, so a yin session is really a session in which we really stretch and open up through the body as much as we can. It's a very relaxed session, very internal. We're opening up through the body, but really the mind quietens down, I think, more than it usually would in our session because we're not moving much. We just go into our stretch of choice or stretch that we're going into, and we hold it for quite a while. It's a bit difficult to fit a yin session or a good yin session into half an hour because, yin sessions you can hold a pose from anything from 1 minute to like 10 minutes. But obviously we're not going to do that. But we won't get as many stretches as we would like to get in this session, but I'll try to target at least every part of the body. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. We won't really need blocks and straps for this. You can use them. I'll show you where it'll be useful, but if you don't have any, you don't have to find anything. With all that being said, like I said in our yin sessions, we hold the poses for quite a while. We hold stretches for quite a while, but what I'm going to do is we're just going to do our usual, wind down, get centered, become present. And then we're just going to warm up a little. So we're going to do a little bit of movement just to open up the body, make it a bit easier for the body to go into the stretches. And then we'll go into it. Okay, I think that's enough talking. Let's go into it. So placing your hands wherever you'd like, on your knees, on your lap, maybe even at your heart. And we just bring our minds here. So we just bring our minds here into this moment, into this space. Becoming comfortable with where you are, with your surroundings. Maybe finding a bit of peace where you are. Allowing the mind to quieten. And then slowly we bring the awareness into the body. So coming in, and we do a quick scan through the body, not making sure that we're not holding any tension anywhere. Relax through the face, the jaw, all the way down into the shoulders, down the shoulders into the arms. From the shoulders also moving down through the torso, into the hips, the thighs, the shins, the feet. And then bringing the awareness to the breath. See if awareness of the breath may change the breath ever so slightly. Just bringing awareness to the body doesn't really have to mean anything just yet. Just bringing awareness. And then setting an intention for the practice ahead. Your intention can be anything that comes to mind, can be something on or off the mat, whatever you need right now. And then starting to deepen the breath now. Oxygenating through the body, allowing fresh air, fresh energy into the body as we inhale. And as we exhale, we push all the old, stale air out of the body, all the old, stale energy that we don't need. Bringing life into the body. Feeling the fresh air rejuvenating the body. And then we get into the movement, so just rolling through the neck. Making big rolls. And then changing directions. Keeping the shoulders down and back. And then bringing the head up, rolling through the shoulders slightly. Loosening a little bit through the body like we said. And then change directions with the shoulders. And then bring the shoulders to stillness. Bringing one hand on top of the other, placing the hands on the shoulders. And then just allow the hands to be heavy on the shoulders. Maybe you're putting a little bit of pressure, maybe you're not. Maybe you can feel a slight stretch on the shoulders, maybe not. Move the hands more towards the collarbones. Pulling down, breathing. And then release the hands, placing the one hand on the knee, other hand behind you, coming into a quick twist. Making sure that you're sitting up tall. Imagine you've got a string at the top of your head and someone's pulling. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then we turn back around, and this time we're going to do the other hand over. And then first we just place the hands on the shoulders, pulling down, or just putting weight on the shoulders. Breathing. And then moving the fingers towards the collarbones. They don't have to be completely on the collarbones only. They can be over the shoulders a little bit as well. And then release, placing the one hand on the other knee, and then we twist. Again, sitting up tall, imagine there's a string at the top of your head and it's pulling you up. And then you're looking as far back behind you as you can. Twisting nicely through the torso, breathing. And then inhale, come forward again. And then we inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, dropping the one hand to the side. stretching slightly just until you feel a stretch through the side body, and then all the way over onto the other side again, just until you feel a stretch through the side body. You can see I'm looking down still, and over to the other side now until you feel a stretch, and then just a little bit further, looking to the side, and then other side, same thing, just going a little bit further into our stretch, looking over to the side, and then this next time we're going to look up from under the armpit, breathing, and the other side. And inhale, coming up. All right, and then we're going to go into our first stretch. So here as well, we're going to just warm up a little bit before we go into the stretch. I injured my toe this morning. I don't know if you can see. So I'm not going to be on my feet much, but if you'd like to go into a downward dog, walk out your dog, you know, just loosen through the body, you can pause it here and do that. Otherwise, we're going to go straight into our sitting forward fold. I think it's called Paschimottanasana. Okay, yeah. Into our sitting forward fold. Flexing the feet, although in Yin Yoga often we don't necessarily have to abide by all the little nitty-gritties, because we can be holding the thing for quite a while and it can be very intense at first. So you can just relax the feet, and then as you go into the stretch a little bit more, starting to flex the feet. You can choose. I'm going to go in flexed. So inhale, bringing the arms up, and then exhale, coming forward. You don't have to go as far as you can. And then on our exhale, we're just going to come up, keeping the hands on the floor. Inhale, slide forward. See, I'm coming down with my chin, relaxing the head as I exhale and come up. And again, inhale, coming down with flat back. Exhale, coming back up. We're going to do it one last time before we hold it. Inhale, forward. Exhale, coming back up. And again, coming down with a flat back. And then coming to our stopping point. So once again, you don't have to go into your deepest possible stretch here already, because we're going to hold it for quite a while. So as we hold it, the body tends to relax a little bit into it. So you can just find your point. Maybe usually you can touch your toes, but this time you're just going to reach onto your ankles. And then as we hold it for longer, you'll reach a little bit more for the toes. Whatever you like. Like I said, you don't need a strap or a block, but if you'd like to use them, you can then have your strap here around your foot. I don't have it with me today to show, but you can then have it around your feet. And then you can just hold onto your straps wherever you are. You could be here, holding onto your strap, just giving you some grip if you don't want to hold onto your ankles. And then slowly you would creep your fingers up your strap towards your feet. And then maybe today you'll reach your feet, maybe another day you'll reach your feet. Whatever your journey. Seeing if you can relax the head. And just breathing here. Using the exhales to allow the body to relax, go a bit deeper into the pose. And then on our next exhale, we're going to slowly creep the hands back up. Coming up to seated up nice and tall. And then you're going to bend one knee and place it underneath the other foot. I'm going to face you for this one actually. You're going to have the one leg under, and then you're going to try to get the ankle all the way over the other knee. Some people might be able to get here, some people might not. Just do what you can. So you want your legs to be parallel to one another. And then we can just hold it here. we should already start to feel the stretch through the glutes, through the hips. So you can hold it here. If you can feel the stretch but you still feel like you can go a bit deeper, don't feel like your hips are going to break, you can then place your hand or your elbow on this upper knee and just put a little bit of pressure, starting to lean forward. And then depending on where you are, you can even place the other hand on the foot, placing the hands together and coming forward. You could also just stay up. You don't have to lean forward, and you could just place the hand on the knee, putting pressure down on the knee, trying to get it to touch the other foot, or if it's already touching the other foot, just placing that pressure on the knee. This can be a very, very intense pose, but with that intensity is its effectiveness. It really opens up the hips. So just take your time, breathe. I promise you, especially with yin sessions, your breath is your best friend. It's the one thing that really helps you center and takes your mind off how intense the pose might be. And it also helps you actually to ease into the pose, whether it's just get comfortable where you already are or to go a little bit deeper into the pose. But just breathe. In this time, we also bring our minds inward. Once again, just focusing on the breath, focusing on yourself, really quietening down the mind. Relaxing the body. I know we might want to avoid the stretch, but try not to do that. And then slowly coming up if you were leaning forward. Coming up seated, up and straight. Bringing the foot off the knee and just make circles with the knee. I know it can feel a bit awkward, but I think after a pose like this, we really need to just loosen up through the leg or through the hip. And then we're going to go into the other side. So placing the one that was on the top now at the bottom, and then the other knee on top. And then again here. You can either just stay here, breathe. It can already be intense enough for you here. You can use your hand to put pressure on your knee, pushing the knee down, or you can bring the elbows or you can bring one elbow onto the knee, push down, or both elbows, one onto the knee, one onto the foot. Hands are together, and we just breathe. Try not to avoid the stretch. and then slowly coming up. Being gentle with yourself. Making circles with the knee, opening up through the hip. Breathing. We're going to come onto our knees now. So if you feel ready, you can come onto your knees. And then here as well, we can just make circles with the knees, or with the hips rather. Opening up through the hips. And then for this next pose, you can either stay straight on your mat or you can go sideways on your mat. I'm going to show you both straight and sideways. So we're going to bring our knees wide apart, as wide as we can. The feet come out, so they're pointing out to the side. And then you can either stay here, stay up on the hands, and then just for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, we're just going to come back and forth. Once again, loosening through the hips. You can also say warming up through the hips maybe. I'm going to turn to the side. So you bring the knees out as wide as you can. Feet are out open. And then again, either staying up on the hands, or you can come down onto the elbows. I'm going to dirty my jersey now. Or you can even relax the chest all the way down and come onto your head. And then coming to stillness, just holding it here. Taking some nice deep breaths. Slowly, slowly coming up now. If you are on your elbows, pushing yourself up. We're meeting on our hands, and then we bring the knees in slightly. Well, not slightly. Bringing the knees in, and then we're going to come into our hip flexor stretch. So stepping the one foot in between the hands, and then just making sure that you've got your knee directly above the ankle. Got a nice angle here with the hip, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to stretch through the hip, yeah? So we can just hold it here. Can even relax your head. Breathing. If you'd like to go into a deeper variation of this stretch, you can place the hands on the hips, on the knee, and then push yourself up. That should increase the stretch here in the hip flexor. Breathing. And then if you'd like an even deeper stretch, you'll bring same hand as the bent knee down, and then you'll inhale up with the other hand and lean over to the side. I'm going to stay in the middle. And then once again here, just breathing. Here you could also have your blocks And you could place your hands on your blocks if maybe you're not so comfortable having your chest on your knee, then your blocks will just give you a bit of leverage. Placing the hands down if they're not down already. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, slowly pushing the hips back, straightening the front leg. We're going to hold this one for very short compared to the others. Just breathe. And then inhale, come forward. And then we step the foot back and we go straight onto the other side. So stepping the other foot in between hands, have the knee directly above the ankle. And then you can either have your hands on the floor, on your knee, or the one hand dropping down and the other hand up overhead. And you don't have to stick to one of these. If you feel like the body is loosening a bit, then you can change. So from your hands, if you feel like, the body's loosening a bit, and you can go a bit deeper, placing the hands on the knees, coming up. If you're here and you feel like you can go deeper, go deeper. Breathing. Placing your hands on the floor if they aren't there already. Inhale, and then slowly straightening the front leg, pushing the hips back into our half split. And then inhale, coming forward, and then we step the foot back. Keeping the hips where they are, we're going to come into our puppy pose. So just dropping the chest down, walking the hands forward, and just breathing here. You can come up onto the fingertips if you'd like to go deeper into this pose, or you can place blocks underneath the hands. And then slowly walking the hands back again, just sitting back into your child's pose for a second. And then we inhale, come up, sitting up on the knees. You can come forward on your mat because we are going to lean back. If you've got the flexibility, you can sit down onto your bum, having the feet on the side. If you feel any pain in your knees, please avoid this one. Then you'll just be up, sitting on your heels as normal. We're going to come into a nice deep quad stretch here. So starting off by just placing the hands behind the body, leaning back. Maybe you can walk the hands back a little bit. Either this is enough for you, or you can come down onto the elbows. Relaxing here, or maybe you can come all the way down onto your back. You can place the hands wherever you'd like for them to be. And breathe. If you're on your back, we're going to push up onto our elbows. If we're on our elbows, we're going to push up onto our hands. And if we're on our hands, we're going to push forward. And we'll all meet back on our hands and knees. Let's just twist through the ankles. So this one was a stretch for the quads as well as for the ankles. You can tap the feet on the mat. And then coming over onto your bum. We're going to come into a nice wide-legged stretch. So bringing the feet out wide, bringing the bum flesh out to help you sit up taller, help you go more forward. Inhale, the arms come up, and exhale, leaning forward. Here, you can even hold onto your feet if you feel like it helps you go forward. Taking deep breaths. And then we're just going to come into a side stretch. So if your hands aren't already at your feet, bringing the one hand to the inside of the one leg, and then inhale, coming up with the other hand. Now we come into that deep side stretch, grabbing onto your foot if you can reach it, breathing, looking up from under the armpits. And then we're going to come through the middle and go straight onto the other side. And then inhale, come back to center and roll the spine back up. And then bringing the feet onto the mat, coming forward if you need to. And then we lay down onto our backs. Now just releasing the body. Shavasana is where we allow the practice to settle into the body. So just relaxing the body, allowing it to be. Feet are laying open, palms facing upwards, shoulders are away from the ears, lifting up the head, bringing the chin back in, bring the chin in and dropping the head back. Breathe. If your back is feeling a bit tender now and you don't want to lay with your legs straight, you can bring the soles of the feet up onto the mat, point the toes inward, and then rest the knees on top of one another. That tends to be a bit easier on the back. If you'd like to, you can also lay with the feet open. With the feet together and the knees open. If you'd like to stay here for longer, please do. Otherwise, starting to wake up the body, wiggling through the fingers and toes, popping the feet and the head side to side. And whenever you feel ready, bringing up the knees. And then we turn over onto one side, gently pushing ourselves up and coming into our seated position. Bringing the hands to the sides, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. And one last time, biggest breath, inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands come down to your heart. Taking some time to reflect back on the intention that you may have set at the beginning of the practice, and to thank yourself for dedicating this time to your mind and to your body. I thank you for joining me. Namaste. I don't know about you guys, but I feel really relaxed. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys really enjoyed the session. I did. If you did, please let me know by giving it a like, maybe leaving a comment. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see the new videos that I'm going to be posting on a weekly basis. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.